screwing everywhere like I do with your mom. Welcome to Bullman Built RC. I am Matt, your favorite YouTuber's least favorite YouTuber. And today, this is a Mailbox Monday where I'm going to go over all the things that I bought in the last week or so and show you and tell you what I'm going to do with them and all that jazz. And here we go. First up, we have this. This is a Proline FJ40 body. I'm not 100% sure which one this is. If it's the new one that's for a 12.3, then I'm still happy with it because of what I paid for it. If it's the old one for the T-Max, E-Max, Revo, Savage maybe? I can't remember if it was for the Savage. But then I'll be super happy. But I believe this is the newer one. Regardless, this was 15 bucks. So worst case scenario with no window masks or any decals or anything, I'll just chop it up for the hood. But maybe it's the older one. I do have one for the original T or E-Max. Someone took the protective film off of it and then sprayed the whole thing red. Windows, grill, bumper area, like top, bottom, inside, outside, everything is red. I know that I can soak it in some things like, brake fluid or whatever, but some people say that that makes it brittle. I don't know. I've just left it. I'm trying to find a replacement because it does have the window masks and the decals in the little bag with the Proline thing. So I would love to find a original, smaller one, put that all together, put it in a bag, etc., and have that new in package, basically. This one is not it, I don't believe, but it's clear. It's basically uncut other than someone cut this here and cut this back here. Oh, yeah. Stock bumper cut line. Interesting. With spare tire mounting holes. So like I said, regardless, I don't really care. It'll probably become a buggy, or I may just do something else with it. I am getting to a point where everything that I do own is pretty much either a comp truck with a Lexan body or a hard body or a tube chassis. I have very few just body swapped Lexan bodies. I understand that for some people that is a very interesting thing to have. However, for me, I'm personally trying to push myself to try to build an FJ40 tube chassis where even if I just use the hood and like maybe the quarters or something, someone can actually look at it.
Oh, would you look at this?
And go, oh, that's supposed to be a Land Cruiser, not like that's a weird looking buggy thing that has a Toyota hood on it.
What the heck is that?
So I'm trying to get in that area and figure all that out. So this is one more body that will go in a box or go on a shelf right now, and I will figure out what to do with it later. So I got that. Next! I went to Hobby Lobby and I needed some paint for some interior work that I'm doing, so I bought green. This is festive green for one of the trucks I'm planning on painting, and this is bright orange. I'm still waiting on the flocking to get here from Amazon. It should be roughly this color. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to like this inside the truck that it's supposed to go on, even though Google and everything tells me that these two are complementary colors. I just don't know if it's going to be cool. So I got that. I got green for a new body that I'm painting, and then I also got some more accelerator. I have run out of this, and then the other one actually lost the little thing that makes it kind of spray instead of just out like I do on your mom. So I got this. $7, whatever, and I have it now. And I think I had another bottle, but it doesn't matter. I have another one now. So I got a couple little things of paint and some accelerator. Next, in this Amazon package here, we have Lexan sheet. Technically, this is called PET plastic in a 10-pack, 11 by 14 by 40. So this is actually what I use, and Jordan and everybody else that I know uses for their tube chassis panels. So you just take it, lay it out or whatever, cut this out, and then bolt it to it and all that stuff. And you can actually paint this on the outside or the inside. It works just like a Lexan body. It has protective layer film stuff on both sides of it, and I really like it. I think this whole thing for a 10-pack was like $17, $12. So 15 bucks. Let's call it 15. I could be wrong. I could be right. Whatever. I'll put it up on the screen. So I got this. If you are looking for this, I'll put a link in the description. And this is super, super useful. I use it for floorboards. I use it for windows and some things. I use it for body panels, roof panels, different just projects to just kind of, whatever, like making beds and all sorts of stuff. So this stuff is really, really useful, and I like having it on hand. Next up, I got some parts. These were actually a lot more expensive than I thought they were going to be whenever I bought the truck. I have a Defender that's an RC four-wheel drive, and someone has filled in the topper so that way it has no windows, and it is insanely heavy in general. So all of that filler and the plastic and all that, like that topper is really heavy. So I wanted to get rid of it and make it into a pickup. I went looking for these parts, did not realize that by themselves, the trim and the actual cab topper and the back thing are not that expensive. However, the glass is like just as much as the other two pieces. So altogether, this would have been like $60, $61 or something like that on RC four-wheel drive, plus the shipping. So there was a nice fellow that hit me up, saw one of my posts and said, hey, I have all the parts. They're not painted like you wanted, because I do have the, I don't remember what that's called, like light butthole sage or something like that along those lines. The limited edition color green. And he said, I don't have them painted that color, but I do have all the parts you're looking for, etc. So I'll just paint them black. It's not that big of a deal. He sent me the window trim. I got the cab back, the screws that do something, I'm not sure, maybe the tailgate things. I got the tailgate, which I'm not going to use anyway. I got these 4 things. I have no idea what those are. And then I also got the windows for the back of the cab. Now I can paint all this black real quick and take that big freaking honking topper back thing off and get it out of the way. If anybody was interested in it, I'll have it up for sale. By the way, if you're interested, check out becoming a channel member. You do get to see the videos a day early. You get to see all my for sale things early before they go into my group. Speaking of my group, Bullman Built RC is my Facebook group. I'm also on Instagram, and I have a Facebook page specifically for the channel, Bullman Built RC, across the board. So think about doing that. Anyway, I got these. Pretty excited to get them on and get them all done. That way I can take that truck out in the spring, and hopefully it will be less top heavy because goodness, that thing likes to roll over a lot. Next, lastly, I got this box. Normally, if you've been watching for a long time, I always wait until I am making a video before I open things up. This guy was a different case. I bought some things not realizing he was bad listed on the feedback page. So when I paid him, I did pay him goods and services. It went to some sort of account. When I put it in, it pulled up the same business that he said it was. Everything kind of jived, but you know, I didn't really think about it. And then I hit up my buddy and was like, hey, about this. And he's like, that guy's bad listed. I was like, oh shit. So I look it up. Sure enough, he's on the bad list. I did pay him. It took him 9 days, I think, to ship it. He said he was in a car wreck, sent me the picture of the car, said, oh, I work this time and I work nights and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And so basically I just said, hey, when does this go out? Because he's supposed to get me a tracking number on Tuesday, and it never came. It never came Wednesday. I never got one. I think it was like Thursday, something. He said, I'll get you tracking later. I get the tracking. It was shipped out Friday or Saturday, one or the other. So days after he said that it had already gone out, it was actually shipped, which just means he's full of shit and he's a liar. But I still got my stuff. I had to make sure after all of that had already happened, and I had said what I said to him about how the hell does this ship on Friday whenever you said it shipped on Tuesday, and why the hell isn't it in my hands? So after all that, I did open it up, checking to make sure that what was supposed to be in here was in here, and it wasn't just like a bunch of your mom's socks or something, which I can still sell online and still make some money, so I don't really care. So what I have is some random foam that probably came from his mom's bed or something.
12 seconds later.
The star of the show here, I got a uncut, clear, original Proline Sumo. It is cut as far as this goes, but it's not cut out, so it is better than what I could have had. I have a couple of these now. I could probably stop buying them, but this one was so cheap that I couldn't really resist myself. So, and then I also, to help pay for shipping, basically, because he was like, oh, it's going to be $25 to ship it or whatever, which total was still less than what this body was worth. I went ahead and had him throw in a Holmes stubby. So this is actually a puller. It's one of the nicer Holmes motors, and being a 3300, this can actually go into like portal trucks, which is how I use them. I'm not exactly sure what everybody else would do, but I use higher KV in portal trucks, and then I use a little bit lower KV in my straight axle trucks. Not super low. I'm not a 1200 KV guy. I can't do it. The lowest I have is 1800, and I sometimes just want to like throw it down the trail because it's not fast enough. So I have no idea what I'm gonna do with this, but once again, it was cheap. And in all honesty, I paid like $50 for the pair plus shipping, and knowing that he was bad listed, I already paid him and everything, so I was a little skeptical of what was going to be in the box. Didn't even know if these were going to make it or if it was going to be there, so I did open it up. Just being transparent, I don't ever really hide anything from anybody, but so that is what I got. Once again, be careful what you're doing on Facebook. I easily could have gotten burned somehow in this whole process. I would assume by reading what the guy's like bad feedback was, maybe he just did the same thing to someone else and then they reported him and then they put him on the bad feedback page, because it did take like 9 days for it to ship, which is ridiculous. But I did get it. I assume that's probably what he did. He seemed busy. He said he was some sort of supervisor or manager or whatever, so maybe he's busy. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But I do know that some people would not give him the benefit of the doubt. So, you know, just depends on how you want to view it or whatever. But I did get lucky. I got what I needed, and so I am pretty happy with that. Make sure in the future, if you guys are not, to get on the good bad feedback page. Check that out. That's a huge resource to be able to tell who you're dealing with. If they say they're good listed, I don't know if some of you have seen that around and not really knew what it meant. You actually have to have 10 people vouch for you and say that you are good. So if I went on there and I said, hey, I would like to be good listed, and you got to tag, normally you got to tag like 20 people, that way 10 will actually respond, and then they all vouch for you, and then you can get on the good list. That's in a document. You can actually go search it, check it out, make sure that someone that says they're on the good list is on the good list, and then the vice versa happens for a bad listed person. So if someone has a problem, and like I would have gotten, like, let's say a 1/14 scale Jeep body that was crushed and some like half a brick instead of this, so it made weight, and I was supposed to get this and I didn't get it, I can get on there and say, hey, these are the pictures of what I got. This is what has happened. Screenshots of all the messages, which I did take as soon as I found out he was bad listed. And then now I can say Bob Barker, whatever, Bob Barker, is screwing me over. He has screwed me over, etc. He's got a day to rectify it. Come forward and say, you know, like, I'm sorry, I'll make it better, blah, blah, blah. You're being publicly shamed, basically. And then if he doesn't, he gets put on the bad list, and basically a growing number of people just don't trust you. So it is a great resource. Make sure to check it out on Facebook. And that is all. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you later. Bye. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Start for the, I don't know. Why am I sitting so low? My kids have been screwing with my chair again. Oh, no. Nope, that doesn't. I don't even know what this is. Taking the protective shit. I do not understand what the fuck that means. I don't like the way that sounds. That makes me sound like an uppity asshole. Little tubers that actually look like an LC or will floof the fucking. I really don't want to sound like an uppity asshole. The shit. What the hell is that shit? Flocking. That's what it's called. What was that of? You can actually play. You can. Oh, fuck me. No, sorry. Shit. He's super shh. Bad listed on the fake when I pulled it in, or when sisters using rouge, clear complexion soap, brothers wearing beads, and he smokes a lot of dope.